Hello and welcome to this episode of the Mindfulness for Baby Loss series. I'm Lucy. I'm part of Relax with Lucy and Co. And this is the Butterfly Project. So, I have been seeing a lot lately, a lot of different posts around how do we learn to love our body again following the loss of a baby. And I know that was and is still certainly true for me actually. I think when you've had a baby and your body changes, um, it's difficult anyway to kind of get your head around the different changes in the body. What your new body looks like. Um, you might be a different shape. Your skin might look different. You might have put weight on in other areas of your body, and for some people, this can be quite distressing. But I mean, I went on to have other children after I lost Ellie, and I now recognise a difference in this, in that my body looks different following birth. But even though it's something you've got to kind of get your head around, there's always, in my opinion, that kind of thought around, well, my body is as it is because I've had my children. But after I had Ellie, I delivered her. I'd got to just over 23 weeks, and my body had been pregnant, which meant that after I delivered her, my body had changed. I still had my tummy was saggy. I had some stretch marks. My breasts they looked different. And I'd put weight on as well. So learning to love my body after her, especially when there was a lot of thoughts around this idea of my body's failed me, it was so difficult because I didn't even have a baby to show for it because Ellie wasn't here anymore. So learning to love my body has been a really big journey and still continues to be a journey. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was this application within the mindfulness context of self-care and self-kindness and self-appreciation, because as with everything, this is a real practice. We have to practice this stuff in order for those changes to happen in our minds and for the change in how we view ourselves to happen. And it's extremely difficult because I remember intensely just feeling like I hated my body. I'd got pregnant, and as far as I was concerned, my body hadn't done what it was supposed to do. Something had happened along the way to Ellie. Something I don't know what happened. Her heart hadn't formed properly, but it really felt like it was my body's fault, and there was a lot of blame there. And I remember first going to my first mindfulness course, and we all sat there, and I was on the week where we talk about loving kindness to ourselves, and we all sat in a circle, and we were asked to place a hand on our heart and direct some loving kindness to ourselves and say in our minds, "May you be well, may you be happy." And I couldn't do it because I honestly did not want to engage in that vocabulary to myself because it just felt wrong. May I be well, showing myself loving kindness when I'd been in this relationship, this fractured relationship with my body, with the way that I viewed my body for so long. Showing myself kindness was extremely, extremely difficult because all I had there was hate and disgust and frustration, failure. So it was a real difficult thing to do. And I remember feeding back in the group, and I just said, I can't say those words to myself. I actually couldn't physically, when you imagine some words in your mind, I could not do that. The process just wouldn't happen. So what the instructor told me to do instead was just to imagine either somebody who really, really cared about me sending loving kindness to me, or she said, imagine like using your imagination, of course. Imagine like a white light sort of coming down on your body, and everything about that light represented love and compassion and kindness, and embrace you in this wonderful kind of essence of true love, really. So to me it was something that really took a long time for me to do. Um, and the practice of mindfulness has really helped me to peel back those layers and to plant some seeds within my mind, so to speak, around this cultivation of kindness and compassion to myself. And I've done this over a period of time, but doing this with little acts of self kindness, and also doing this through the meditation practice of a loving kindness meditation practice. So, yeah, it is extremely difficult. So, I wanted to share with you today a poem, if that's okay. And this poem is a poem that I have used many times when I've taught mindfulness classes, and just read it for myself. And I really want to invite you now just to engage with me in this poem today. And I want to invite you to close your eyes, maybe pop a hand on your heart if that feels comfortable. The poem is called Love After Love. The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door in your own mirror. And each time you will smile. Each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here and eat. You will love again the stranger who was yourself. Give wine, give bread, give back your heart to itself, to the stranger who has loved you all your life, whom you have ignored, for another who knows you by heart. Take down the love letters from the bookshelf, the photographs, the desperate notes. Peel your own image from the mirror. Sit and feast on your life. So, that poem is a poem that is shared a lot actually in the mindfulness world, and it's a poem that really spoke to me because I think there was a tendency to kind of, well, not a tendency, I guess, this real pull towards not wanting to even look at myself in the mirror or embrace who I was, following losing Ellie. And it's really been a journey since her passing. And, still continues to be a journey. Sometimes I get Ellie's memory box out and I look through the pictures and handprints and footprints, and it's difficult, and sometimes it's easy to kind of go back to the why did this happen? Why did my body not do its job? Why has this happened to me, etc. But none of that is helpful because it's happened. And surely is not the suffering of losing a child worse enough without us adding extra suffering on top of what we're already experiencing? So, there's a real great saying in the mindfulness world, which is when we water the seeds that we want to grow, they will grow. And if you're somebody who does struggle with showing yourself kindness and compassion, especially in relation to how your body looks now, following the delivery of a baby that's no longer here, or babies that are no longer here, then maybe watering the seeds of self-compassion and kindness will just be helpful for you in trying to navigate your way forward, because this, of course, is just an extra layer of suffering that we are adding on to our already difficult experience. So this week then I have recorded a mindfulness track, which is a loving kindness meditation track, and I really want you to listen to this. Please just give it a try. It is a practice, so making sure that you just be kind with yourself. You might find that you engage in it and you don't feel anything, but over time, if you look at the research behind loving kindness meditations, there is phenomenal research to show how effective it is in making actual changes in the mind, in the brain. And it changes the neuroplasticity of our brain when we practice something. And loving kindness meditation is one of those practices where it is a slow burner. But if you're somebody who knows that you struggle with kindness to yourself, and you may be fed up of playing that same record and you don't really want to engage in that anymore, then maybe this is just a different approach that you can try instead. So thank you so much for watching. I have posted this on our Instagram page as well as YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Nobody can find this playlist if the subscribers are low. So we need as many subscribers as we can in order for YouTube to pick it up. And that could maybe be your little bit of kindness to us. And thank you so much for watching. Sending my love wherever you are in the world. And I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.